Hey everyone, I just wanted to make this video to kind of talk about a couple different things and our steps moving forward. I think it's a lot easier to do it in a video than to, type it out in words and stuff like that. I mean, I know I sent out those other things, but just to kind of clarify on some things. And I've been receiving some questions from you guys, some emails, which is awesome, and I just wanted to address a couple of those. So the purpose of this is for, I miss seeing all you guys, and obviously I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope everyone's staying safe in those regards. And unfortunately, this is going to be normal, the new normal. Um, so I think really what we're kind of going towards, unfortunately, is we're not really allowed to do any virtual meetings. So I know I originally said, like, we might have some review sessions that we could all, join in on together, or at least that was the idea that I had. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to happen, which really, really sucks, and it's upsetting because, like, obviously want to see you guys and make sure everyone's doing okay and be able to have, like, those interactions and stuff like that. But this is kind of the new norm, so really, how it's going to start next week is we're going to open up kind of, I'm probably going to do it in terms of a Padlet or something like that, and you guys can just post any questions that you might have about any of the stuff that you're reviewing between now and sometime in May. They haven't really told us when the AP test is going to be, but we'll pretty much just do that from here on out. Like, you guys post questions that you might have, and I'll look at them. I'm going to post the stuff on Monday, and you guys can work through your stuff, and I'll probably check the Padlet or however I decide to do it on Thursday, and then start to make a video to be posted on Friday just answering some of your questions that you might have. So with that being said, if you have questions that aren't answered in this video, just comment, because I'm probably actually going to put this up on YouTube, get famous. But just comment either there or on our Google Classroom page with any questions that you might have or stuff they didn't address. So the biggest questions that I have been getting from you guys are Q3 stuff and making up work, or you finish an investigation, you take a test, or whatever the case is. We don't really know what to do at this point in time. We haven't gotten direction as to whether or not we're just gonna forget about those, or whether we're gonna come back and somehow make it up. I know initially I kind of threw out the idea of, like, hey, we can do like some sort of verbal exam where we meet one on one and you guys talk to me and I kind of ask you questions or like whatever, however we would have determined to do it. But that is no longer on the table because we're not allowed to meet virtually at all, even if it was a group of people and not just one on one. So, don't really know what to do with that in this regards. We haven't had a lot of direction in terms of how to do this, so not really sure what's expected of us. There are rumors floating around that there might be, and I mean, you guys probably have heard them too, like, oh, we might have everyone pass for the third quarter and everyone pass for the fourth quarter, or we're just gonna forego all the grades. Like, but those are just rumors, and I don't know anything, so I can't say it's one or the other. So for right now, it's just kind of a be patient, hope for the best. We're all working through this. This is all new to everyone. Very unusual situation that we're all in. So I got a lot of questions. Again, it's really nice hearing from you guys. If you do have any questions regarding anything else, please feel free to email me. I try to respond within a reasonable amount of time. So aside from that, this is probably going to be our new normal. We are still having the AP test as of now. College Board has released, and it sounds like College Board really wants to have a test. It's going to be 45 minutes. It's going to be online. They've not told us the dates yet. There are going to be two separate dates. But the really good thing is that it's only free response questions. So I know we've struggled with multiple choice in the past. So thankfully, they are free response questions, which will be good. I still recommend studying some of those multiple choice questions though, and Ms. Morgan and I have put up some of the review material for you guys to look through, and it has multiple choice. It's still good to look through those because even though you're not going to be presented with that type of question, the rigor of those questions are certainly very similar to how the rigor of the free response questions might be as well. If not, some of them are actually harder. So I'd use those as a tool. Aside from that, I guess the way that starting on Monday things are going to work out is all the material that you need is up on Google Classroom right now. I'm going to add more stuff as we move along. But the routine that I'm going to try and get into is on Monday. I'm probably going to stick with Padlet. I'm going to post a little Padlet that'll have you just click and type your questions that you might have. And if you notice that you have a question similar to somebody else, there are certain features on Padlet that allow you to like drag and organize things. If you've never used it, don't worry about it. If you have used it, it might be helpful to do that. If you notice, somebody has a question very similar to yours, or an extension question, and stuff like that. There's different features on it. It's not very important that you know how to do it. If worst comes to worst, just type out the question that you have, and I'll figure it out from there. And so that's going to happen on Monday. That'll go live, and then it'll be open it'll be open indefinitely, but I can probably set some time for it to close. But on Thursday is when I'm going to look at them and pilfer through and be like, all right, what questions do I want to answer? And then I'll make a video that I'll post on Friday for you guys to look at stuff from there. So an expectation that was sent out to parents was you should be spending about 30 minutes each day per class, which is like 4 hours worth of schoolwork altogether. Honestly, I know you guys and you have been operating on your own schedules, even when we were still in school, of prioritizing, like, what am I going to do? And you guys have done a great job so far. So I'm not going to be like, you have to tell me that you're done 30 minutes a day. Like, no, like if you can knock some of this stuff out in less time, or if you want, like, some people, and what I would kind of recommend doing is like take it a week at a time would be each unit. So we have 5 units all together. Maybe start next week with just unit 1 material and working through it. And then ask questions based on, unit 1 stuff, unit 2, unit 3, and then go from there. Some people might be like, hey, I don't want to, I struggle with unit 4 because it was probability. I want to go focus on that stuff. I did post something for it's like a Statsmedic course. I sent out an invitation link. That is a wonderful resource. I'm going to dive into it a little bit more today and see if some of you guys have already looked at it. But it has basically a diagnostic test that you can take, and it'll kind of tell you what you're struggling with and stuff like that. So if you take that test, and I would actually probably recommend doing that first, maybe Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then from there kind of dive into some of the topics that you might not know, and so on and so forth. That Statsmedic thing also has the 2 lessons that we did not go through yet, which are inference tests for 2-sample means and paired t-tests. Now, what I'm probably going to do, and I would appreciate your comments on this, is I might just end up posting they have their videos on it and stuff like that, and if those work, that's awesome. But if you guys want me to post something of me walking through that stuff, or me highlighting, like, here are the most important things that you need to know for these 2 things, I can do that. And if that's something that you guys would like, I'm more than happy to make something like that. But yeah, I guess so, kind of going back on what I said, next week I'd probably do those 7.1, or 7.2 and 7.3, which is equivalent to our 10.2 and 10.3. I know it's all very confusing. But doing the 2-sample t-tests, I do that stuff next week. Try and do the diagnostic to see where you're at, and then maybe the following week start doing some of the review stuff. We are technically not supposed to do anything during spring break. I'm still going to post the Padlet stuff. If you don't want to do any work during that time, I'm not going to hold it against you. Obviously, it's your spring break. If you do post stuff on the Padlet, I'm still going to check it like normal, and I'm going to make a video, just so you know. But you're not required to write anything. You're not required to do any work during that week. Just so you know, I'm still going to be available. Like, if you have questions, stuff like that, like, we're not closing up shop. It's still going to be, we're essentially on, a spring break for the next however long. So, so with that being said, I guess that's kind of my what I would recommend doing, is kind of take it a week at a time, if that's something that works for you. If you want to be someone who just takes that diagnostic, maybe takes other diagnostics, there are other resources that are available to you. I can post a couple of diagnostics as well if that would be helpful. So again, just kind of comment on either the Google Classroom or on YouTube what you would prefer, what you'd want in terms of us moving forward. Just let me know what works best for you, and I mean that's ultimately why we're here at the end of the day, is to make sure you guys are getting the best that you can. So for now, again, AP test is still on. Let's prep like it's still there. The College Board did release those two, there's three actually, lessons that they have up now. Just so you guys know, that material is not going to be on the AP test. It is material that we would have covered during the year already. However, since it's not going to be on the test, it's not a requirement that you look at it. It is a requirement in terms of our like standards, and if you were to continue to take another stats class in college, they would expect that you already know running the 4 other tests that we haven't run yet. But we'll probably tackle that more at the end of the year, once the AP kind of schedule has been released, and if we know, like for example, hypothetically, this is not, I don't know anything for sure, but let's just say they move the AP test back to like sometime in the last week of May, like the 26th, or I guess the week is the week of the 25th. Then, you know, maybe I guess that like last week of school, we'd probably like do a little video or like run through the chi-square tests and linear regression. But again, College Board has those videos up already, so feel free to check them out. I wouldn't stress out over not knowing what those mean and how to do it, because that's something that will not be covered on the AP test. So that's kind of, I guess, everything that I can think of as of right now. If you do have more questions, again, please comment, please let me know. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. And I really apologize for not being able to see you guys, or also not really like communicating sooner. Really, we had no direction for most of this, so we weren't really sure of like, yes, you're supposed to communicate, but also like, what am I supposed to really say? Because it's like, we don't know anything. So with that in mind, just, you know, feel free to reach out if you need anything, and please, I'm always here for you guys. And yeah, always available by email, or you can comment, you know, on this video if you need to say anything. So with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday, and enjoy your weekend, I guess.